What's good, Skins fans? So we are playing the New York Jets, as we all know. This game, I call it the Dysfunctional Bowl. We call the Dolphins game the Toilet Bowl. I call this one of the Dysfunctional Bowl because the Jets have as much dysfunction as we have. The Jets are trying to beat us out in the Dysfunctional Bowl. I mean, with Adam Gase, I don't know if y'all saw the press conference where Adam Gase's eyes were just big as dimes, where he looked like he didn't know where he was. He was just looking around. When he got hired, he had that press conference. He was just looking around, looking crazy, and just like, I don't know what in the world. He looked like he was high as a kite off some type of drug, like he popped a pill or something. I don't know what in the world Adam Gase was doing before the interview or during the press conference, but he looked like he was out of it. I think the Jets fired their GM before. They fired the GM after the draft. So they fired their GM after the draft, if I'm not mistaken. Also with health, Sam Darnold have a mono. They have just as many, almost as many injuries as we have. Sam Darnold with mono. The backup quarter Luke Falk broke his ankle with Miles Garrett. Kind of pushed like he just it wasn't his Miles Garrett's fault, of course, but Miles Garrett just laid down and just kind of put all his weight and force on Luke Falk. I think that's his name. Luke Falk was the backup quarterback for Sam Darnold. Broke his ankle. And then Luke Falk is now filing grievances against the Jets for not paying for his health, for his surgery and stuff like that because they cut Luke Falk, or whatever his name is, the backup quarterback. And the Jets said that they're trying not to pay for his medical expenses, and Luke Falk is filing grievances against that. So they have their things too. The other guy, the offensive guard, Kalichi Umsumiki, I'm sorry, I probably butchered his name. But if you didn't hear about the Jets and that offensive guard, the offensive guard got released because he wanted to get a second opinion from the Jets. It was just nonsense, a lot of nonsense. So the Jets just are just as dysfunctional as us. I don't know who's worse. It's a tough one. We probably are worse, but then again, the Jets do something even worse than us with Adam Gase and their owner, and they've just been dysfunctional and bad for years. When was the last time the Jets were good? It was probably when they had Rex Ryan. That's why I kind of want Rex Ryan to be in the Washington Redskins building. I don't know if the head coach, but at least the defensive coordinator, I would like. That's just my opinion. I think Rex Ryan should be an option to get the job. A lot of people don't want Rex Ryan. I know it would be dysfunctional with Rex, Bruce, and Dan. Now, if they fire Bruce and hire Rex and hire Louis Riddick, then I would be a very happy guy. I like Rex. I love Rex's energy. That was the last time the Jets were, and he took terrible Mark Sanchez to the AFC Championship a couple times. So back to this game. Dwayne Haskins looks very poised. He looks like a changed man. He's got his nose in the playbook. Not saying that he didn't have his nose in the playbook before, but he looks like he's ready to lead, be a better leader. All this stuff. You heard the press conferences. You heard around town. The word around town. The word around Ashburn is that Dwayne Haskins is more committed. He's ready to lead. He's ready to be a leader. He wants to be a leader of men. And that's what I love to hear from a young 22-year-old. So I think he should have a good game. The Jets look bad against the Giants. It's a week-to-week league, but the Jets look bad defensively against the Giants. They let Darius Slayton and Golden Tate look like the second coming of Jerry Rice and freaking Tim Brown or something like, or freaking Art Malk or something like that. That's how good Golden Tate and Darius Slayton looked last week against the Jets. They let Ricky Sanders out there. I mean, it was that bad. The Jets defense is that bad. Their pass defense is that bad. Now we know we love Greg Williams. That's another candidate, not for head coach, but for defensive coordinator. Greg Williams. I love Greg Williams when he was a defensive coordinator here. We do know the bounty stuff with Greg Williams, his history and stuff like that. But the Jets, they've been really good at stopping the run. So we got AP, Darius Geis is back. Can Darius Geis finally stay healthy? AP, of course, will be the first and second down back. Darius Geis will be the third down back. Chris Thompson's out for this game, of course, as always. That's why I'm kind of ready to move on from CT. I love CT, but it's time to move on. Bryce Love will be here next year. So for this game, like I said, it's going to be thunder and lightning. AP and Geis, man. AP and Geis, man. I can't wait to see it, man. This is what we've been waiting for Darius Geis to get his time and play and just get ease in the game. Not like Jay Gruden. Adrian Peterson said in the interview, he was like, somebody asked him about, are you worried about your playing time? Is it just you or Darius Geis getting the boatload of carries? And he was like, nah, Jay Gruden ain't coaching here. Basically, that's what summed it up, what AP said in his interview. So I love that. Paul Richardson's out for this game with a hamstring injury. So that means somebody else is going to get another opportunity. So I'm not happy about Paul Richardson getting injured. But I'm happy to see somebody else step up that we've been calling for. We've been calling for Kelvin Harmon to get some more reps. We've been calling for Steven Sims to get some more opportunities. We've been calling for Cam Sims. I don't know if Cam Sims will get activated for this game since, what's his name? Paul Richardson is out. Trey Quinn, of course. Steven Sims, Calvin Harmon, guys like that. We want to see those guys get more opportunities. Terry McLaurin should have a good game. He should have a good game this game. We're definitely looking at him. He should have a great game for us. Terry, Scary Terry, Dwayne Haskins, Darius, guys. We're looking for the young guys. This should be a trio for years to come. Trio of young guys to be really good at the quarterback position, wide receiver, and running back position for us. Defensively, Montae Nicholson, man. Montae Nicholson. Of course, I'll talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I hate talking about negativity off the field about this team, but it's something that we do have to address. He did practice today. I don't know if you guys heard about Montae Nicholson, but I'll let you know now. I think everybody's already heard about Montae Nicholson, what's going on with the situation. I'm not going to get too much into it because it's personal business, and it's just stuff you don't want to really talk about with the team, especially with death in somebody's life being taken away or lost. So if you heard, Montae Nicholson and another friend or accomplice or whatever dropped this young lady who was 21 years old off to a hospital in Loudoun County, where she was unconscious and later pronounced dead. So they're saying that they found the girl in the bathroom, but misery, company and stuff like that, whatever the saying is. And this is Montae Nicholson's second time being a headline on TMZ, and nothing ever comes good from TMZ. TMZ and a football player, that's a terrible mix. So I'm not gonna judge Montae until all the facts come out. The first report, the police reported, was that he immediately left the hospital after dropping the girl off. Now, if he did that, that looks terrible. Looks very, very sketchy. Now, if he stayed, like his lawyer is saying, his manager is saying that Montae Nicholson stayed at the hospital until her family members came, then it looks like Montae, was genuine and wasn't really involved in any sketchy, foul play there. So, like I said, we'll let this play out. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I wasn't there, so I can't speak too much on the situation. But Montae Nicholson in the news 2 years in a row is just not a good look, man. It's not a good look. Troy Aikby's getting an opportunity here, and we'll see what Troy Aikby does. I highly doubt Montae Nicholson plays in this game tomorrow. On Sunday. I highly doubt he plays on Sunday. Highly doubt he plays on Sunday. He did, like I said, he practiced. He is questionable. Even if he's healthy, I just don't see him playing. Especially while this investigation is going on, I just don't see him playing. I do wish Montae the best. He just needs to watch who he surrounds himself with. He really does. He needs to watch who he surrounds himself with. Because like I said, this is your second time, man. You don't get a lot of chances, man. I'm telling you. Whether you're innocent or not, you just don't get a lot of chances being in these situations. You just got to do better, man. I'm telling you. And that's just being honest. I'm just being honest. You cannot be caught up in these situations like this. It's just not a good look. It's not a good look, Montae. I'm just being honest. You were caught on camera fighting last year, and you got all for that. Maybe you were. I guess you were in the right. But like I said, you just can't be in these situations, man. You can't, because they're not always going to end up in you being innocent. It's just not always going to end like nothing good happens basically after 10 o'clock. That's what they say. Nothing really good happens after 10 o'clock. I heard all this went on like 1 a.m. They went to the hospital and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm going to leave myself out of it. We'll just let it all play out until all the facts come out. Then we'll 100% really speak on it and see what happens with Montae. But like I said, I'm wishing for the best. I'm praying for the girl's family. Praying for Montae as well, that he makes better decisions and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. Who else? Landon Collins should be playing well in this game. Sam Darnold's he's okay quarterback. He's okay. We saw what he did to the Cowboys. He toast and burnt the Cowboys. Beat the Cowboys by a couple points. They really won in that game. They were dominating the Cowboys the whole game. So Sam Darnold, he can cut you up, man. He can really cut you up. Le'Veon Bell, we already know about Le'Veon Bell. We know about Jamison Crowder. A lot of people are like, oh, we should have kept Jamison Crowder instead of Trey Quinn. I love Jamison Crowder. Jamison Crowder was one of my favorite players until he started fumbling the football and just doing terrible on punt returns. He was one of my favorite players on the Washington Redskins. He was one of my favorite receivers. I miss the days where we had Jamison Crowder, Pierre Garçon, and Deshaun Jackson. Oh my gosh, that was just I don't know why the heck we let those guys go. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Of course, it's about the money. But it was just so dumb that we let those guys go. So dumb we let those guys go. Now Jamison Crowder, I understand because the money thing. And Trey Quinn's okay. He's really not that bad. A lot of people hating on Trey Quinn, but I like Trey Quinn. I really do. I think he's the quarterback. Case Keenum missed him twice in that Giants game. I say that over and over again. He overthrew Trey Quinn in that game. So, I think we should be able to throw the football on the Jets. The Jets don't really have that much of a pass rush, to be honest with you, and their pass defense is terrible. Now, the running game they probably will be able to stop our running back. But we'll see. We have Adrian Peterson, Darius Guice. So let's see here. Let's do some play actions for Dwayne. Let's throw the ball on first down. Let's stop being one-dimensional. Let's stop being predictable. Let Calvin O'Connell run the plays and call the plays. And let's see what Dwayne can do. I have Dwayne throwing 2 touchdowns and 1 pick on Sunday, and for 275 yards. I have him having a good game. The Giants were able to throw for 300 yards on the Jets, and they did whatever they felt like doing, passing the football. They couldn't really run the football, and Saquon is injured. We have 2 healthy running backs. Well, 1 healthy running back in Adrian Peterson, 1. We'll see where he's at running back in Darius Guice. So I think we should be able to get some yards. I think we'll be able to get like 70 yards rushing, which is not good, and it's kind of in the middle of the pack. But it's better It's better than what the Giants did last week against the Jets. So we can get it like 80 rushing yards. I think my final score, I really don't want to jinx it, and a lot of people have been arguing whether they want to see us win games or lose games. It is tough, man. It's tough. You know, we all want Chase Young. We all want Chase Young or Andrew Thomas. And, you know, if we keep winning games and fool around, beat the Jets, Giants, Lions, you know, and that's what, 4 wins right there. I can fool around and push us back to like the 5th or 6th spot because the Dolphins are terrible. The Bungles are terrible. There's a lot of bad teams, man. The Jets are terrible. There's a lot of bad teams, man. A lot of bad teams. The Giants, we can fool around and drop very, very, very low. So, we'll see, man. We'll see. But I got us winning this game. It's a tough one. I got us winning this game, man. I hate to say that we're going to win this game, but I really think we're going to win this game. I think we're going to win this game. I have a small feeling. We're actually favored in this game by 2.5 points. There's not going to be a lot of people there. I already know that. You know, it's going to be a lot of, and I wouldn't say a lot of Jets fans because Jets fans are fed up with their teams too. So, I got us winning this game. It's going to be like, 17-14, something like that. 17-14. Dwayne Haskins throws 2 touchdown passes. Terry McLaurin has a good game. Kelvin Harmon has a nice game. So I got us winning this one like either 20-14 or 17-14. So let me know what your final score prediction will be. Of course, everybody wants to talk about the Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph fight. I don't think Mason Rudolph is 100% innocent like everybody paints him to be. You know, I think he did grab for the helmet first. Now, Myles Garrett did take him down, but Mason Rudolph did pull at Myles Garrett's helmet first. Then Myles Garrett pulled the helmet off. Now, there's no excuses for Myles Garrett with what he did with the helmet swing. That was just awful. Terrible, man. Myles Garrett definitely deserved to be suspended the whole season. It's debatable, but like I said, both guys were not innocent. So let's just leave it at that. Like I said, stop saying Mason Rudolph was 100% innocent because he was not. So let's just keep it 100. Mike Pouncey, that was, you know, when he went crazy, he started kicking, what's the name, Myles Garrett in the head and whatnot. He was wild. So let me know what y'all think about this game. This is one of the winnable games that we have left. I'm hoping Montae Nicholson can go out there and do his thing. So, all right, y'all. Hail to them Skins, hail to the Wizards, Caps, Mystics, Nats, of course. All right, y'all. Peace.